Hi, and welcome to Ghosts and Guardians, my Destiny-centric show here on my Lunar Lightning Entertainment channel. This is part 3 of a 3-part series to start off this whole show. The first part was about the basics of Destiny, and you could click the link here on the top left-hand corner. Or if you want to click the link on the right-hand corner, you'll get to part 2, which was how to get to level 20 effectively or fast, however you want to put it. Now this one is about everything beyond level 20 and how to use the endgame to your advantage. There's a few things I find people make a lot of mistakes on as far as the endgame content goes. If you are a PvP player, it won't really matter what you do. There is one main thing that can help you, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. But if you're a PvP player, that's what you're going to play. You don't care about the PvE. If you like to dabble in both, this will help you a lot. You really don't need to complete the story to get this high. Actually, I have 2 characters that, at this point of recording the video, have not even completed the storyline. And it's really not necessary. It'll gain you some experience, and experience is still necessary to get to beyond level 20. But the most important thing is actually your gear, which we'll see in just a second. Just let me land this ship. And yes, it takes a while. I hate these loading screens. You will get sick of them quite fast. We are heading over to the tower here, and there's a couple things I'm going to show you in the tower as well. Here we go. We're going in for a landing. And here we are. Let's take a look at the menu for a second. Now, if you look at your armor, you'll see something called light. Right there. Every piece of armor has a piece of light. Has light involved in it. The higher light rating, the higher your actual level will end up going. So if you want to get to level 30, or actually at this point of recording this video, 32 is the highest you can get. But in a few days, you'll be able to get to level 34 once House of Wolves is officially underway. It's also worth noting that you still need to level up your gear, so experience and bounties are very helpful. If you have this little icon, Radiant Light, you'll actually get bonus XP for doing bounties or anything at all that gives you experience. And pretty well everything gives you experience. Now, there's one person I didn't show you last time I did the whole tour of the tower in the last video. And that person only shows up on Fridays and Saturdays. And he changes locations every week. And of course, I'm talking about Xur, the Agent of the Nine. He will give you exotic weapons at a cost of some strange coins. Now, he will always sell one piece of gear or armor, however you want to call it, for each type, plus an exotic weapon, exotic shard, and exotic engram. And the engram is random. It doesn't match your character. He'll also sell telemetry, as well as some upgrades for your Sparrow, and of course, heavy ammo synth. Everything else in the middle there does not matter, because as of Tuesday, it will no longer exist. Now, this is recorded just after the update to get ready for House of Wolves. And a little visitor, a blast from the past for anybody who has played Destiny since the beginning. Also, this character will show up in House of Wolves in the new Reef area. And of course, I'm talking about Petra. She was available before with the Queen's Bounty. Now, this place looks new because I wasn't able to access it, but you can access it during the Iron Banner. And Petra's just over here. I don't think she's going to be a regular person. I think this is just something special for the week leading up to House of Wolves. And she's offering some bounties. You can buy some emblems or some shaders. And we'll take a quick stop here and look at an old screen. Remember this screen from the very first episode? Well, there was one thing I kind of glossed over, and that is this one right here, the shader. Now, the shader can change the color of your character, or at least the gear the character is wearing. There are some items that the shader will not affect, and that's usually an exotic item. But you have to be at least 20 to use a shader, so it was not worth mentioning earlier. So now that you've hit 20, if you're watching this video, you probably have, this is when you're able to use it. But let's get back to the video. Now, I'm going to take us back out to space, and we're going to look over some key things worth noting for endgame material. Like I said before, it's still very important to do the bounties. Very important to do anything that's going to upgrade your gear. And of course, one of those things that you should be doing, actually I should rephrase this, the first thing you should do every Tuesday, if you're playing on Tuesday, if that's your first day, I always play on Tuesdays, is this over here, the weekly Nightfall Strike. It's not match made, so you're going to need a couple friends, but this is key because it'll give you this, the Radiant Light. Like I told you before, it gives you extra XP for everything you do. Now, this is where you get your strange coins, the weekly Heroic Strike. And the daily, you get some engrams and other special drops can happen. Here you have your Crucible daily item. And up here in this area is generally where the Iron Banner appears when it's happening. It also appears here in the Crucible. But if you look at the Crucible, it has several icons that do change from day to day, week to week. There's a lot of times they'll switch up the different Crucibles. I'm not a fan of Crucible, so you'll see in the bottom left hand corner that my marks are at 0. I do not really play Crucible too often. Now I will have to be playing Crucible soon to get a bounty that I have got, an exotic bounty, which do drop from time to time. But here is the Strike playlist. You can access the Nightfall Strike, but this is the one you want to be doing if you're going to do strikes, the Rock Strike. But you can gradually go up in levels depending on, because you get access to strikes pretty early. But up here, the Rock Strike is the one you want to be doing to get the max type of gear. But that's pretty well it that I've got for the video. And I'm just going to end off with this screen here. In this screen, what you see is my dead body. This is the little ending screen that I'm going to show you. My dead body. Now you might be wondering, why am I looking at this? Well, there's one thing I didn't show you in the video, and that is raids. Raids are fun as hell, but you need friends to do it. It's not like a strike, which is match made. The only one that's not match made is the Nightfall. I highly recommend playing raids. They just are a different way to play Destiny. It's nothing like anything else within Destiny. It's better than a strike. But because you need friends, there is that barrier to entry. But they are fun as hell. Now, this is where I got my trophy for playing hard mode and actually beating it. And you might see my dead body, but we all died. The Oversoul killed most of us. Me, obviously, a Thrall ended up killing me from behind as the Oversoul killed everybody else. But we still had a great time. And this was during the Crota's End raid on the moon. Of course, you had to buy the Dark Below in order to access this raid. And the other one that's available to everybody, once I believe you have to be at least 24, is the Vault of Glass on Venus. And I prefer the Vault of Glass. It's a lower level raid, but it's still more dynamic than what Crota's End offers. But they're both fun. And they both offer some interesting gear. And it also offers some primaries with some special damage types, which of course was mentioned in the last video, the various different damage types. So that's it. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe, or you can follow me on Twitter at LunarLightENT. Now, this may be the end of this particular series, but Ghosts and Guardians will go on. So, I hope you liked what you see in this 3-part series. I'm going to be offering something different next time. Most likely, some thoughts on the new DLC. So, until next time, bye.